Hey guys, what's up? I'm here doing a renovation challenge, which is just an adaptation of Lil Simsies' Fixer Upper, where she takes houses and fixes them up. I think it is a fabulous show. I highly recommend it, and I love fixing up houses because I feel that my sim skills, especially in build to buy mode, it's more interior design than it is exterior. So I'm just going to start off here with the fly through of the whole house, which I thought was a fairly easy start to renovating houses because the overall outside design of the house I don't change aside from the color scheme. Everything else is really good. I just, sort of changed the furniture and updated, I guess. It's more of an updating challenge than it is a renovation challenge. So you see here that they have a really cramped, weird entrance, but this beautiful sort of bringing the outside inside area where they have glass all around a treat area. I keep that. I shift it a bit where I put the stairs right up the middle, and then you come and you have an office right next to the dining room. I don't end up keeping the office. I keep the walls the same on the downstairs and the windows. The only thing I really change is the wallpaper and the flooring and the furniture, and the only room that I change is the office. I turn it into more of like a reading / library room. This kitchen here is massive. I don't keep it this big. It's just way too big, way too much space. I cut it down to probably about 3/4 of its original size, and then I also put in a bar area. This living room, I had so much, I didn't know what I wanted to do with this living room because I was like, maybe I want to bring it up to regular height and make it like an open floor plan, but because I wanted to keep that little nature box there, I'm like, no, I can't do that. So I end up keeping it sunken down and working with that. So the upstairs is a complete mess. It's sort of this cramped little hallway with these really weird tiny bedrooms here. Actually, they're pretty decent size, but they're gross. The walls are gross. The flooring is terrible. It's all the stuff that came with the City Living Pack, which just makes your places look disgusting, which I love when you're doing renovations like this. People can add such personal details like that. This house comes with 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and I turned it into 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Although there is a third room, it's not a bedroom. It can easily be put back into a bedroom, but I change it. So we're here into a bathroom, and then next to this bathroom is another bathroom, which I'm not a fan of having bathrooms back to back just because it kind of wastes space. So I knock down those walls. I take a little bit of it for the master bedroom, and then I make one big bathroom for guest bathroom with the children's bathroom, So what I do is this house does sleep 4 Sims. So you've got the master bedroom which sleeps 2, and then a bedroom which is a twins or sister bedroom, and then an extra room which can be a bedroom, but I turn it into sort of like a kid's studio, which you'll see, which I think turned out pretty well. The backyard I don't really touch aside from, again, changing color concepts and taking some of the outdated chairs and tables and stuff and updating it a bit and putting in a basketball court and some places for the kids to play, and then also changing the pool color because it's really gross. So we're getting into the speed build here, and I start off by I knew when I saw this house on the Sims gallery, I knew that I wanted to make it a black and white theme. I knew that from the get-go. The house design just screamed black and white to me, so that's what you're seeing here, is I'm changing the outside color to a black and white theme, putting trim around the house because there was originally no trim, and then figuring out what I wanted for the trim on the, the foundation, what I wanted the foundation trim to be, putting in white stairs, changing all of that, struggling with the camera angles here. You'll also notice that in The Sims, whenever I build, I tend to be a little bit, a little bit excited when it comes to the delete button, and I tend to delete whole floors and whole walls and stuff that I don't mean to. So now I'm getting into the inside and just deleting everything. I'm giving it a whole clean slate. I just delete everything that I don't want. I put in those new columns. Like I said, I didn't change the walls aside from this part here where I end up putting the stairs in the middle of this green space. But other than that, everything on the downstairs stays the same. I thought it was a really good overall design. And if I wanted to change it and make it sort of like an open floor plan, I would have had to change the entire interior, which I don't really want to do with renovations. I kind of want to try and keep them as as simple and without changing the exterior, because when you see people renovate, you don't see them really changing the exterior unless they're adding extra rooms or something. So that is my challenge for my own renovations, is to try my best not to change the exterior aside from colors. Now, if you guys want me to do renovations of your houses, you can use the hashtag Nonsense-renos, and I will go ahead and try to get to everyone's renovations and fix everyone's houses. Also, if you wanted a little bit of an added challenge for me, you can put in a budget that I have to stick to. You can also describe your Sims style, so I can try and stick to that, whether they're like Victorian themed or modern or contemporary or whatever. I will do my best to stick to that. I'm not 100% guaranteeing that, because sometimes I tend to shift towards what I like, less of what, maybe my Sims are going for. It's definitely a personalization. So here we are. I'm changing, oh no, I thought I was changing all the wallpaper. I'm just putting in the dining room, which again, I stick to this black and white theme that I stuck to outside. I'm bringing it inside. You'll also notice that in most of my builds, I love to overuse plants. Like, you will see plants in every single one of my builds. I don't know why. I just feel like it livens it up, makes it look more lived in, because there's living things in there. I love the fact that I use red in this dining room just to sort of like cut that black and white theme, and I didn't want to make it all black and white. I wanted to add some color in there. Those are also some of my favorite lights. Changing up the floor here because I didn't want to keep one consistent floor throughout the whole thing. The kitchen I thought turned out pretty well. Again, the original kitchen was such a large kitchen that I didn't want to, there was so much space that wasn't going to be used. So I ended up changing that a bit. I go for more of a black and gray theme rather than a black and white theme, just because these cabinets don't have black and white. Also, the other thing about these cabinets that I'm not too big of a fan of is that these counters, not these cabinets, whatever, this kitchen set, is that the cabinets are all glass and see-through with a bunch of dishes, which I think if anybody has that many dishes in their house, they are crazy. I have one cupboard dedicated to big plates, dinner plates, dessert plates, bowls, my excessive mug collection, which I have an excessive mug collection, and then my plasticware, and then my glassware and my wine glasses and stuff like that. So I have one whole cupboard dedicated to that. Mind you, I have a really tall ceilings in my house, so I have tall cupboards. But if anybody has that many plates, they must be like a plate collector or something, because I couldn't fancy having that many plates in a set of cupboards. So here we're doing just the clutter items for the kitchen, and you'll see that I made a bar area, but I also made sort of these serving cabinets, where I end up going back and forth and adding more clutter items to there as I go through the clutter items for different rooms. I find different things. I do this in all of my builds. I'll be building a room and I'll be like, yeah, I found all these great clutter items, and then I'll move on, go to a new room, open up the clutters, and find something that I like for the last room. Happens a lot. My brain is scattered, so I tend to be all over the place when I build. Yeah, so I'm changing the kitchen floor there, and the living room was a bit of a challenge again because of the sunken floor. I think I did okay. It's a pretty small living room. Yeah, in terms of living room size, it's fairly small compared to some of the other builds that I have personally done, but I make use of it. There's not much to it. It's just sort of like couches, and I throw in a computer because I take away the office. And I think I throw in a chess table. I try to put in a piano, but it just doesn't fit the way that I want it to. So while this is going, I thought, considering this is going to be my first video, I would take the time to just introduce myself, just so you guys get a little bit of a picture of who I am and whether or not you want to subscribe to my channel. There's no pressure. You don't have to. So my name's Janelle. I am a fourth year university student, and I have been on YouTube for almost 10 years. So I started a YouTube channel back in 2009 where I made fandom videos, those videos that you see of people who take their favorite shows and and a bunch of music and mash it all together and make it all beautiful and stuff. I mean, I was never that skilled, but that is what I did. I did that until 2012, and then I graduated high school and I moved on to university, and then I just kind of dropped off creating for YouTube, and I still was a part of, consuming content and things like that, but I really missed this creative process and building this community. And I had friends on YouTube that I used to talk to, and then I fell out of touch because, of course, as you do when you get older, you tend to fall out of touch with people that you knew in high school and stuff. So I decided, since this is my last year of university, I thought, why not go back to doing some things that I loved before university? And one of those things was YouTube. And I don't make fandom videos anymore because that's not really my thing. So I decided to come back on here and play video games because that's been my thing since I was very little. And just before I continue, I want to explain what's going on here because it seems very confusing. I'm trying to make a loft area upstairs, but I realized in the end that it cuts up so much of the space upstairs that I wasn't able to fit the amount of bedrooms that I want to, or bathrooms. So I'm like, no, this isn't, like, I wouldn't get that master bedroom that I wanted. So that's what I'm doing there. And now I'm realizing you made a stupid mistake. You're not good at this. Stick to just designing and stuff and put it all back. So I put it all back and I start fresh. So anyway, where was I? I lost my train of thought, as I do almost always. So started YouTube 2009, started in 2012, last year of university, want to come back, build a community, play video games since I was really little. So growing up, it was me, my two brothers, and my mom, and my oldest brother's 4 years older than me, and then it goes my middle brother's 2 years older than me, and then it's me. So growing up, it was video games and Lego all the time. That's all we did was play video games. I started out with, of course, like an N64, playing Donkey Kong 64 and Zelda. Those are my two main games. And then we moved up to the GameCube where we played 007, and I used to camp at the top of a building and snipe them all the time, and they hated me for it. Then we moved on to the PS2 where we played The Simpsons Road Rage, which was one of my all-time favorite games. And then the Xbox came out, and then we sort of split up and got our own consoles. My oldest brother went for an Xbox, my middle brother went for a PS3, so that happened. I'm just testing the wardrobe here. That's what you see there with my sim. So that is my history on my video game ability. Am I good? No, I am very bad at video games. The only video game I used to be really, really good at was when the Super Smash Bros. Came out. I used to go over to my neighbor's house with my brothers and play Super Smash Bros. And I used to play as Princess Peach, and I used to kick their ass. They were so upset that I could be so good, and they were so angry about it. And here I'm just trying to fit clutter items onto the shelf, and I didn't realize that you could move them up if you wanted to. I realized that in my next build, but I don't realize that here. Moving on to the master bathroom soon. Anyway, so what my channel is going to be about, yes, I will have lots of Sims content because it is one of my all-time favorite games. I started playing with The Sims 1. My oldest brother actually got The Sims 1, and he didn't really like it, so I took over, and then I ended up just moving on top of that, buying expansion packs, moving to The Sims 2, buying expansion packs, Sims 3, stuff packs, expansion packs, and then Sims 4, where we are now. So yes, my channel will have a lot of Sims content, but it'll also have other content. I enjoy games like 7 Days to Die. I used to play a lot of Minecraft, but like many other people, it sort of just shifted away from that. So I like indie games, any games that are coming out, Xbox games, so you'll see a lot of variety here. One of the main things that won't go away is The Sims, just because I love it so much. So expect to see lots of Sims content while also seeing lots of other content, because I noticed that YouTubers tend to stick to one kind of gaming, especially Sims YouTubers. They stick to The Sims and then they have separate channels for separate games. Me, it's going to be just a variety. So if you like that, then you can subscribe and stay tuned for more different games, and if you don't, then that's fine, and you just want to see Sims content and this is not what you want, then that's totally fine. I get it. Some people just want Sims content and they don't want all the other stuff filling up their sub box, so no hard feelings. Do what you want. Sub if you want. Don't sub. I'm just here to have a good time. I really miss that, like, community. I keep saying that, but community aspect of YouTube where you connect with people and, you find people with the same interests as you, and it's great because I haven't found many of those people in, like, the real world because internet is taking over, so people are finding that on the online world and sort of, creating a different perspective of themselves, I guess, in the outside world where they sort of internalize what they really enjoy. So not a lot of people know that I like to play video games. My closest friends do because they hear me talk about it all the time, but people who meet me for the first time don't really know that that's one of my true passions. So anyway, YouTube, here to create, stop rambling, continue on, move on. So I really hope you like what you're hearing, and if you want to stay and subscribe, that would be great, and I hope you have an awesome time hanging out with me. So we're going to get back to the video now. I think that's a good introduction of who I am and, what I like to do. So here we're just doing the outside, and I will preface this and say that I suck at landscaping. So really, The Sims for me is I am not a builder in The Sims. I'm much more a player. I don't know all the tips and tricks. I have been learning slowly, even though I've been playing since 2000, but I have been learning slowly. I think even I've done more builds after this, so I've sort of, picked up my skills a bit, but landscaping I'm really terrible at. I'm the worst at landscaping. It's just, I tend to just shove a bunch of plants in, like, a condensed area, and then wherever there's space, just throw a tree. So it's really weird that way. So this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to put in a pond, but it turns out to be too big, so I scale it down and make it somewhat pretty, and then I do that thing that I always do where I throw plants everywhere and just, this looks nice here and this is pretty there, and yeah, this is gonna go here. Ooh, rocks. I discovered rocks for, like, the first time. I rarely ever use them in my actual builds when I'm not recording. So that is it for the house. We're gonna go through a little bit of a fly through here. I get better at the camera angles, I promise. I have never used the camera angles like this in The Sims, so I promise you I get better. It gets better, don't worry. This is just so terrible and so cringeworthy to watch, but I'm gonna try and make it through. So here we are. That office turned into sort of a library area, and I apparently skip over the entire dining room, but you saw a glimpse of it, you get it. So I think upstairs I learned that you can zoom out. I think that's what happens. I learn, oh yeah, I have a scroll wheel on my mouse that makes me see rooms bigger. So, and the order in which I show everything is a little weird, so I'm going to try and work with it. So here's the outside. Again, didn't really change much of that. I put in a wind chime. If that makes it better, I totally add a wind chime, and I think it makes it look great. So here we are. Oh, well, we're back inside, I think, because I messed up that part of the camera. We're going to go upstairs now. Now, I didn't explain much of the upstairs while I was doing it, so what happened was I made it 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, like I said. I added an art studio for kids, just like a sort of one, because the living room is so small that I couldn't put, here it is, wait for it. Wait, no, it's not this room, it's the next room. I couldn't condense the living room, or I couldn't add to the living room to do kid stuff and, like, stuff for them to learn, so I add a room specifically for them. There it is. Look, I learned how to zoom out. I learned it. Yay me. So here we come into the kids' bathrooms, or the guest bathroom, or whatever. I actually like the way it turned out. I love the color of it. The master bedroom, it was so nice. I love the master bedroom. It was so hard to work with because I envisioned it being so much bigger, but it was awesome, and I love the way it turned out. So there's the old house. That is what it looked like, and I think I pan and move into what the new house looks like from the outside. Yep, there's the new outside. If you want to subscribe, you can. Anyways, that is my time here. I hope you like what you saw, and I'll see you next time.